Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jay Faith from the Right Mind Podcast. We got episode 128 queued up for you. We welcome back B. Snair to the couch, where we sit down and just make connections through conversations. On this episode, we just talk about maintaining your voice when it comes to performing. We talk about the second season of Rhythm and Flow. Also do a deep dive into the Super Bowl as well as the halftime show, Kendrick and Drake beef, as well as just the current state of the NBA and how we miss the glory days of what it used to be. Now, if you are looking for some new apparel, be sure to check out For His Glory. Make sure that you glorify the Lord with every wear. If you log on right now, you can save 15% off with the code J_FaithOfficial. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode. God bless, and what's up?
You never tell me. You can never tell me. I won't rise.
Wear sunglasses with like a beanie.
Oh yeah,
To me, it's like the weirdest thing because under it like sticks out and then over, and I'm just like, it's weird.
Yeah, it's such a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like I need sunglasses. Like I went to the eye doctor the other day. Was it optometrist? I think.
Yeah.
I went to the optometrist, just like a yearly thing. I end up getting these things, but she was like, yeah, like, are you outside or do you wear sunglasses like when you go outside? I was like, not really in the winter. Usually more in the summer.
Yeah.
But even then, sometimes I don't, and only because it's such a hassle, like taking these off.
Yeah, because you got the two pairs.
I have the two pairs, so I'm like, I'll just wear like my regular glasses. Whatever, it's fine. But she's like, yeah, you have like this thing in your eye from like sun exposure. No, I guess you could say like sun exposure, like
Okay.
too much sun.
Wow.
So she's like, it's not anything that's like bad. It just can be annoying, I guess. And so she's like, yeah, you should like start wearing sunglasses more. And I was like, it's probably because
I'd be like, well, what can I say? I shine too bright.
right.
It's a new dawn. It's a new age.
Yeah. But I think it's too because like when I take my dog out, and obviously there's been snow on the ground, so the sun reflects off the snow too.
Yeah.
And smacks me dead in the face.
That's even worse because you get like snow blind.
Yeah.
From the reflection.
Yeah.
Is Crispy still texting us?
I've been trying not to wear sunglasses the last like couple months myself because I wore them like every day forever.
Yeah.
And then even sometimes like inside at night, going certain places, like at events, like 15 hours sunglasses on in one day. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, this is getting crazy.
Right.
And then I don't know. I feel like the sun is healthy, but obviously too much is,
Yeah.
But
yeah, tell that to the guy who's vitamin D deficient right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? I'm glad that's like the worst of the things that can happen. I'm dehydrated and I have a vitamin D deficiency.
Okay.
But I was just like, man. I was like, how? But,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm not really, especially like now, like with it being winter, I'm not really outside.
Right.
Because, I mean, my job doesn't require it because we're inside when we work, obviously. And then we have a gym, so we don't need to take the kids outside to go play.
Gotcha.
So it's like, I'm basically inside the building from like 9 in the morning until like 5:30.
Yeah.
Unless I go
Every
get
day,
my lunch or
pretty much.
something. But that's, you get in the car, so then you're covered
Yeah.
anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
it's cold out. So
2
you're
seconds. And you're just running.
yeah, I run in, run out, and I'm back in the office again. So it's like I'm like a vampire, just barely seeing sun now.
Yeah, that's no good.
It sucks.
I take vitamin D every day with K2, which is really important because the supplements, your body can't like absorb vitamin D well. So they do this one with K2 that helps your body absorb the vitamin D.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you do need to start something like that,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been taking that a while and it definitely seems to help.
Word. Yeah, they prescribed me like a bunch of vitamin D.
Okay.
Vitamin D pills, like your typical, just little standard stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you can get it over the counter, but I think they gave me just like an exuberant amount.
Yeah, they usually do like a high dose if you're deficient, at least to
Yeah.
get you up to par, and then,
Yeah.
which is good.
I just gotta be consistent. I hate taking medicine. Like I know it's so important, especially with that.
Yeah.
You know, because like I stopped, with like my allergy meds. Like when I used to take them, it was like I'm tired of constantly having to remind myself to take a pill every single day.
Yeah.
And then it's like you forget it. And then for me, when I was taking allergy meds, if I missed a day, like my allergies would just fire up.
Oh yeah,
instantly.
yeah. With something like that, you can't mess up. Like
it
if
was
you
the
miss a day,
worst.
you're like, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But what's crazy is I don't take them anymore.
Okay,
And I've actually been fine.
you've been doing that hot honey?
No, I haven't done anything.
No, that's
No.
awesome. They say, I'm sure you know that, like natural honey from
Yes.
the local area will help your allergies. And stuff.
Yes. Yeah, that's what my wife started doing that.
Yep.
She heard that from a coworker, and where she works in Drake It, there's like 2 or 3 it's Drake It. There's like 2 or 3 farms right there.
Nice.
So she, stopped in, and she would get like that natural, just like fresh off the comb
The
type
good
of
stuff. Yeah.
100%
Yeah,
stuff,
that good stuff. Yeah. And so she was doing that, and she was like, "Oh man, it's like night and day."
That's
when she
awesome.
was doing it. So
I take honey for like my vocals. Like if they're
Yeah.
like rough for a couple of days, like I'll take that and it'll just like help coat it.
yeah, that's the
And
only
it helps it heal.
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing that I struggle with is dry throat.
Mm.
It's the only thing that I struggle with, and it worries me for performances
Yeah.
because it's like I've done like the honey, I've done teas, I've done drinking water, like room temperature water, not cold water,
Yeah,
or colder water, if you will. I've been trying all those different things, and it's like it still just lingers, and I'm trying to figure out what is going to be, that remedy that's going to work.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to affect performances, because there's especially longer ones, because I've had it happen, your throat's, my throat starts to get dry.
Yeah,
It's hard to
and
get
then
the words out. I don't want to be chugging water, the whole time on stage.
You get off the
Yeah.
stage, you're like.
Plus, I find
Thanks,
when
man.
that happens and you're trying to push, that's where you like end up with like a sore throat or sore vocals, or you kind of tweaking things or that you shouldn't be. I don't know. I know a lot of people do like lozenges before they go on stage, like Hall's type
Yeah.
cough drops, like eucalyptus and mint stuff kind of helps. But as far as like for a longer performance, not really sure what would be better than water. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things too,
Yeah.
like make your mouth kind of
Yeah.
drier as you drink it, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
You can like invest in that that Vokes machine too, whatever it is.
I'll have to look into that.
JFK. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I mean, I know about a couple different things, but I don't know about Vokes machine
Okay,
itself.
like look up Vokes.
Is it one of those
everybody,
breathing,
VOX.
Like
breathing
VOX?
things?
Yeah.
Like a breathing type tube,
Yeah, it's
little
like
cartridge thing?
Is that the one that Etheric used to have? I remember
He
there was
had,
like one MOCG fest that we did.
Yeah, so he had this little kit of singing straws, which is very, very, very common for vocalists. And they were like different lengths and different, I think, diameters, so that like the pressure is different. But now there's like all these companies popping up like all over social media that make little devices like that. I think there's one like Sing True, and then you mentioned that one, Vokes Machine. There's another one too that's been really popular. I just almost ordered one the other day because I was like, all right. And I looked at it, and it has like adjustable back pressure. So it was like the same idea as singing straws, but instead of having like a few straws or having to try to change things up, you could just like slide a little lever and it adjusts like, And then they always show like the little video, and you never know if it's real or not. But the guy's like trying to sing a note, and he's struggling and crackling or whatever, cracking.
he
on the
takes that and
note.
he's like, oh
Yeah, and he like does it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't know. It was like $25 or $30, but I know the singing straws work very well, and like pretty much anywhere professional vocal talk, people talk about using stuff like that for. I think it's called phonation.
Phonation.
Don't hold me to that, but I believe
I'm gonna
that.
hold you to every single syllable.
Yeah, but it's like it has to do with the amount of air you're letting out, and then the way that like your vocal flaps deal with the air that's like coming back in. So the back pressure is important, which
That makes sense.
isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like I know, like because I know there's times too when I sleep, mouth breathing, which is also can be a factor when it comes to dry throat. And I try to use like nose strips and stuff, which do help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think understanding that pressure, because like, you know, I've even tried, you know, maybe like breathing when I'm performing, breathing in through my nose and then, you know, out the mouth, you know, like just like normal, but that's so hard to do.
Especially if you're performing. Like,
yeah, I'm like, is that actually a possible thing? And I'm like, yeah, there's no way.
No,
This is just way too hard to try to like function that, because like you got to go, especially if you're rapping fast too, like you can't.
Yeah, and
just,
you're
You have to
jumping
like
around,
remember.
you're
You have to like remind yourself to
Yeah.
like breathe.
like I can't even.
Nope,
picture
that was mouth.
yeah, it's like weird.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
I was just holding a mic. I don't know, that might have looked weird, but it's supposed to be the microphone.
yeah.
Singing it so loud, singing it profound.
Yeah, it's literally what it would have
That
to
would
be.
be
Look at
weird.
my
It wouldn't, I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work. Plus, some of the vocal stuff I've watched from, you know, tips and techniques and like coaches, they do say, you know, you can breathe through your nose like in, but a lot of them talk about pursed lips, which is just kind of like a little space, and you try to breathe with an open throat like that way. So instead of like making this big like, you kind of do that like the same way, but it's more subtle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty common too. I've definitely read about that. And Etheric and I, way back, we did like breathing boot camp online, which was a singing course.
Oh, word.
It's like A Approach, Eric Arsenal, and it was awesome. It was amazing. I went back and I think both of us watched like the whole course at least twice, and it was a lot of hours of videos and techniques and like little singing, like, you know, exercises and warm-ups and stuff. And the more I think about it, like every time it pops up, I'm like, I should still be doing that stuff every day.
Yeah.
Did it for a while and it helped so much, and then like kind of just fell off on that. So
Yeah.
Those people that like give like instructions on like TikTok and YouTube like help,
yeah,
you know, quite a bit, because like
Yeah.
you're looking at like different people and like you're picking up like different techniques. So
yeah.
you know, you try some out, see what works.
I watched a lot of Ken Tamplin videos too on YouTube. He's been like in the game a really long time. A little like eccentric at times in the beginning. I was kind of like, and then like he knows what he's talking about, you know. But he's like very like, I don't know, just like I guess has no fear, you know what I mean? So he's just like right in the camera, and he'll be like, "This is what you want to do," and like mouth wide open, like doing crazy stuff.
I
and,
get
like,
what you're saying.
he's like,
Yeah.
make funny faces, you know, like all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, you know, I mean, it does work, but yeah, it was funny at first, and then I was like, no, this guy's really legit.
Yeah. I get the type of person that you're talking about now.
Yeah.
As far as like just doing mannerisms and things that you're just like, this seems so off the top and just that it can't be true. And then like you do, and you're like, I just made the craziest funny face, and this actually worked.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know?
no, it does. I mean, there's a lot of things with, you know, face muscles being too tight, and then there's something right here too they used to talk about a lot. You like try to get in there with your thumb and loosen this up, but that has a lot to do with like your tongue, I guess, in singing. I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of sputtering stuff out.
Riffing off the top.
I don't know anything for sure, but I know that was a big thing.
We're all like,
It's weird, yeah. Yeah, you like get in
Zoom
there.
out for a second.
There's like a soft little like gland or muscle right there,
we're all amazing singers after this episode.
right? It's like,
But
Yeah.
like
Walking outta
there's
here.
so much around there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, face muscles.
yeah. And then
whatever
there's
else.
different ways to sing too. You know, some of the top people still argue about the right techniques, you know, and like how to have like open diaphragm and like where to sing from and like different things. So I don't know. I'm just always jealous of the people like even L.Y.F sometimes who just seem like they effortlessly
Yeah, it
sing.
pisses me off
I
all
can't
the
even
time.
talk, can't even say effortlessly. You know what I mean? But he's over here just like singing away. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Yeah, I want that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was watching, this lady came across my TikTok. She's a vocal coach, and she was, you know, she teaches like younger kids, and like they'll be trying to practice this line or whatever as they're singing, and you know it's not coming out exactly the way, and then she'll keep practicing with them, and then she'll be like hold this in and like do this, and then they're like trying it, and it's like almost there, and then they're like, ah, and you're like, I'm like, dude, like, where's the note?
I know. Take the notes. Take the notes. Yeah.
I'm like, what was that? I'm like, I need like more like instructional. Like, show me what it is that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, and it is amazing. Because she does a lot of examples, and every time they
the
hit
kids like,
or one of the ones I remember, she was like, "How do you like if you, I forget exactly what she said, but she's like, if you were gonna yell like, hey to your friend, like how would you do it?
Yeah,
you know." So she like went to do it. And she's like, no, like really yell it, you know. And then she's like, okay, now the way you did that when you hit that big note, that's how you have to like same exact thing. And like you said, it totally worked, you know. And at first she really couldn't hit the note at all, and I'm like.
Yeah,
also,
I think I saw that was the one I think I saw too.
Yeah, and then
I think like some people try to go for it like too hard, and then they end up like not using their diaphragm anymore, and they're just singing from their throat.
Yeah,
that's
and,
me
like,
in the car.
They can't hit it, but like if you just like tighten it up a little bit, like not like so much where it's like you were talking like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like tighten your vocal cords like a little bit, and then just like let your diaphragm like carry it through.
Okay.
And then it just comes out smoother, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me in the car.
I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it, but I mean,
yeah. I mean, I can definitely sing some stuff, and like those are the songs I tend to cover. I guess. I mean, I usually pick songs I really like, and then I'm like, man, this is hard to sing, you know. But I'm like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do that one. That'll be easy. And then I get into it, and I'm like, how do they sing so good?
Most songs we like the most like have a much higher register. Like they're all like tenors and like sopranos or whatever.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
so
true.
annoying. I've tried like so many songs. I'm like, yeah, like let me try this, and then
It's like, okay, this part's okay.
I
but
take their vocals off, and then it's just me, and I'm like, oh man, nah, stop, dude. Go back to rapping and just stay there. Just stay there. Stay in your lane.
Or like Life just said, like I'll be fine with like the verses, but then there's like some wild bridge or the chorus is like huge and they're hitting these like giant notes. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So then it's like, well, I'm not gonna cover a song like that because then it just like doesn't feel right, you know. Or if people like that song and they're like watching or listening, they're gonna be like, where's the chorus? You know, and then it just like stays the same, like monotone from the verse.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah.
I heard this one artist, he did a cover of Last Resort, and I didn't realize it was Last Resort. I heard the lyrics, but I couldn't like pinpoint the song, and then like I finally did my research and I figured it out. But like it was almost kind of like the same thing, because we know how like heavy Last Resort is.
Yeah.
But like the way he did it, I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'll pull it up
that's
as we talk. But and just the way he did it, I was like, he like kept it a little bit lower key. I think again, this is me being super ill-informed in actual singing. But I mean, keep talking amongst yourselves. No awkward silence or anything. No, I'm kidding. Oh, fine.
The Volks Machine.
I figured by the time I said anything, you'd find it.
No, I actually did.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Life a question, and then I was like, "Oh,
it actually works." Don't worry, YouTube. We'll mute it. Relax.
Okay. I like the strings.
The video. Actually, I think he might be a little higher.
Yeah, it's higher.
But still, like, I mean, I guess you could say the opposite frame of mind.
Yeah, but no, I didn't expect that with the strings and piano and.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is actually like wicked dope.
Oh, is that? I think I recognize him. Is that Ronnie Radke?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Him in that Tech 9 song is wild.
I've been listening to him for a long time.
Yeah.
Back to Escape the Fate.
Oh, okay.
And, oh my gosh, his other band, Forever. That's awesome. Very different, though.
Yeah. Like the violins was, I mean, I love violins on anything.
Strings are amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I'm surprised I've never heard that.
Yeah, I just got in. I don't want to say like got into him, but I got familiar with him with that Tech 9.
That Tech 9,
song.
yeah.
It's like dun, 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 rah, and I was like, whoa, and then Tech 9 comes in. You're just like, what the heck is happening?
Right.
Such a crazy. Have you heard that? I think I played that song before.
Yeah, that song is wild.
It's nuts. I'll play it after.
I can't believe I
Is it
can't
a
think of
newer
his
one?
other band.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Tech Nine in a while.
He's
Actually,
had forever.
Yeah, that's true.
but
I agree with you. I haven't really heard much of Tech Nine. Not in a bad way.
yeah,
like,
not that he sucks or anything, but
Yeah,
I just
by
haven't
no
come
means.
across him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also not like really following.
I've been listening to like other genres and stuff too.
Yeah. I'll play it. I'll play it out. Remind me before we take off.
All right. Yeah, I've been listening to him since like high school.
Dang.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. He was in like the, I don't know, it was like rock, metal, emo, kind of like blend, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of the same with Escape to Fate. But he has another band that they were on tour with the Tech Nine tour
Escape
too.
to Faith, Falling in Reverse.
Yeah,
Falling in
thank you.
Reverse, that's
Falling
what
in
it was.
Reverse.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
how-
believe, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, how can I not think of it? I've listened to them for so long.
Yeah, that was the band that he had that cover under.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, they did like the Popular Monster tour.
Mm.
I think that was the one with Tech Nine.
I'm ill-informed,
Yeah,
so
I think anyway.
I'm not the
but-
person to...
Yeah, he's been around and doing his thing a long time. He's an amazing vocalist. He can do
Yeah.
like anything because he
Yeah.
did a lot of screaming, back in the day, like a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
then can sing really well. And then on some of the newer stuff, it's almost like more like rapcore crossover, like metal,
Yeah.
rap, rock, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could see the diversity even in that other song with Tech Nine. Again, ill-informed on names, and then listening to that song, like just the range that he has. Like,
Yeah.
it almost gives me. And again, I don't want to say it exactly, but like the singer from Slipknot.
Okay.
Of
yeah.
just like how he could like, and then like all of a sudden he's like, and I want, and you're like,
Yeah.
dude, how do you have such
Yeah.
crazy vocal range?
Yeah, no,
it's
for
all the
sure.
same person. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But but it comes down to, I mean, I'm sure he's done probably a lot of training.
The most insane is Kellen Quinn, probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it. Yeah.
His range.
Sleeping with Sirens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
His range is unreal.
Yeah.
Anything that he does, usually I like, from way back till up to current. And then it was funny because I found an artist recently, and I was like, wow, this guy sounds kind of like Kellen Quinn, and I was like, I haven't heard a vocalist like that for a while, and it's kind of a similar style musically. And then I like checked out his Spotify, and he had like a song with him. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, all right, so that was kind of funny. And that was recent too, like
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I hate those moments too sometimes because you're like, I love both of these people, and like
Yeah.
I would always love to have a song with them. Oh my god, it's already here! Like,
Right.
what the heck? Like, I wanted that for so long, and it's been here, sitting here this
Yeah.
whole time. Like, what the heck? Yeah, I got into him back in like when I was big into MGK.
Okay. Yeah.
But this was like early MGK. Like, I'm talking like Lace Up,
Oh,
Okay,
like
yeah.
MGK era before
Honey
he's
Wars and Running.
yeah, exactly. Like before he started getting into his like emo punk and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. I mean, but he was always emo punk anyways. Like, that was just his style
Yeah.
to begin with. But like the rap didn't match that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it was a very different. He like his like presence was punk rock,
Yeah.
but like his music was
Rap.
the rapping style. And then obviously eventually he lost the battle with Eminem, and then went into punk rock.
Yeah. And then he went. Yeah. I mean,
It's just ironic.
I do like
He's
that
still out here
stuff,
rapping
too.
though.
I
Like
mean,
he still comes out the cut and just
Yeah.
spits like
yeah,
the
he was
most
doing
unbelievable
that
module, like here.
like freestyle series for a little bit, which I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I get annoyed with that because people say freestyle, but it's like clearly your verse before you spit that. But
Right.
however you want to look at it. But he was doing like this little series, maybe over the summer, and it was pretty fire,
Yeah.
And he would have like another guest on. They'd both spit a verse or whatever. But there was like two of them that I kept going back to and listening to because I was like, it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. Yeah. There was
really good.
so many songs. Like, I used to download like everything of his.
yeah.
From Lace Up to, I'm trying to think like what was after that. It was like maybe the album after that, and then I think the album after that one was where I started kind of like slimming down. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just wasn't the sound for me.
Yeah.
I did like that punk album, the first
The first-
main punk one that
Yeah.
he did. Ill-informed bad memory.
Well, Mainstream Sellout, I think, was the second one.
Yeah, definitely that
Yeah.
wasn't that one.
I just keep
Terrible memory.
thinking, too, what was the album with, like,
Was that my watch?
I'm so bad with names of things like this, projects, and
Oh, that was my watch. My watch be searching stuff that I'm not even searching.
crazy.
Tickets to My Downfall
Tickets to My Downfall. Yep.
was a good one.
Yeah. I did really like that, too. That album was good.
Bloom was pretty cool. Was all right. I liked a couple songs off of that.
Hotel Diablo was lit.
That was the one I've been trying to think of.
Yeah.
I was sitting up here going, like, Hotel, Devil, something like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't think. And I was like, I don't want to say it wrong.
General
Hotel Diablo.
Admission.
Yeah.
General Admission was good, pretty good. They had a couple good songs. Bloom, I got attracted to Bloom because a buddy of mine that I used to work with at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, his son did production on that album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I was like, that's actually pretty fire.
Yeah, that
And
is.
then Bloom.
Wait, who did?
His name is literally on the tip of my brain. I'm having like the worst memory lapse today.
Actually, I
Gotta
could
love it.
just view credits. Thank you. Well, I like how Apple like does that now, where they actually have the full credits on it.
Oh, they do? That's
yeah,
nice.
Like the artists, everything, and
Yeah,
the
I don't
lyrics.
understand that. On Spotify, it lets you enter all that information when you upload your track or
Yeah.
album, but then it doesn't show it. And then you have to like dig to try to get to it, and sometimes you can't find it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but when you go down to the bottom of like the album or the song, you know, it normally has at least like the composer and then maybe like the record label.
Yeah,
And then if you click credits, a lot of the times I'll have 4 or 5 people that I've listed and it'll only show 2. And I'm like, huh,
that is weird.
yeah,
Actually,
I don't know.
No, I get that for sure. Come on, where is it? Rich, low rich. No,
Little
was like-
Richard?
Richard.
it was low rich.
He came back.
Actually, hold on. I know who to look up. I want to give some credit where credit is due too, because
Yeah, no, I mean, that's amazing, honestly.
come on. Where's your son, dude? Where's your son? Of course, it's gonna take me forever. And I can't see.
This is gonna bother me.
Right?
No, it is. It's one of those. Yeah, it's literally one of those things. Why do you not have?
What's new with you since last week?
Just work.
Just work?
Just work and chilling. I've just been working and making music, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been trying to
That's
get
it.
into that
That's
this week. Working on music since we had the live show last week.
Yeah.
Just like I love that we have that now, so I can like focus in on music for like a week, because I was literally just like pod after pod after pod after
Yeah.
pod, and I was like, dude, missing a lot of music. Like I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. Like just had a studio session with Mertz this past Sunday.
Nice.
Reworked a song, as far as that goes, and so I'm like, now I can start writing again, and
That's awesome.
I miss it.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's always phases in a way, right? Different things, and then sometimes when you don't have the time for it is when you're like super inspired.
Yeah.
And then you get some time, and then it's like, maybe you're still super inspired, but once in a while, then it's like, oh, now I'm like, what do I do? You know?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get to this for like weeks, and now I'm here, and I'm like,
Yeah, he went by Lil Rich, but that's not his name anymore. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. It's been so long. I think he changed it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only hold on to Lil Rich for so long.
Right.
With all due respect. I mean, I wanted to be Lil Saint when I first started, so that's neither here nor there. But yeah, he got production on that one, and I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Good for you, man. So
Definitely.
it's like cool to see those things. Like when we saw when C4 was in Dude, why is my memory so bad?
Damn, no caffeine.
Sometimes that
Not
happens.
Hustle. I know. I don't think
Rhythm
I
and Flow?
I have Rhythm and Flow. No, Rhythm and Flow is the movie. No, that's Hustle and Flow is the movie. So Rhythm and Flow, the latest season of Rhythm and Flow, he was on there.
Oh, okay.
C4.
Okay. I've watched some of that. I don't know if it was the latest season. Obviously, it wasn't because I don't recall that. So
Yeah, you would have definitely
I
noticed
think
him.
I watched 2 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, there's only 2.
Oh, okay.
But like he only came like pronounced in like until like the second episode. Like if you didn't know what he looked like, you would have never been able to like,
Okay.
pick him out.
Well, I know I watched the first season, and then I think I started the second one, and maybe only watched 1 episode.
I hated the
I haven't
second
watched
season.
that. Yeah, well, I think that's why I only watched 1 episode. I haven't gone back to it. I don't know.
Like there were good artists. There are good artists on there. But
There wasn't enough diversity to me.
yeah, and I think the
Like,
person
mostly,
that
like,
won
trap
should.
artists.
Yeah, and I think the person that won shouldn't have won.
Jay Taj was the best one.
Jay
Like,
Taj was
literally the
hands
best
down.
one.
Yeah. Dude,
The
I felt the
best
same
one.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
From beginning to end.
He gave a Super
Most
Bowl
solid.
that last
like
that-
never.
never
Nope.
just went.
And even
the
in
wrong
some
direction.
ways, when they gave him advice, he still just like stayed true to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I felt like some other people like went a little further with trying to like please the judges, and then they like didn't do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, well,
And
Or they
then-
didn't take the advice.
yeah, or they didn't at all. You know what I mean?
Like Dre
But-
TL, who won, had I just looked this up the other day. What the heck? Producer starts with a H. What the heck? I'm telling you, it's probably the lack of caffeine today. Hitmaker. Got it.
Hitmaker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Didn't take
I
20
was
minutes.
thinking that too actually when you said the H.
He had Hitmaker as a producer, and he was like trying to coach him, and he was like, "No, like I want it like this and this and blah 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 blah."
I
And
did
then
see that.
And,
then
it was him and like some other like big name producer, and like they both left.
Yeah,
yeah, they walked out,
yeah. They're
And
like,
it was
nope.
just him and the engineer.
and then he's like, "I can't write. I'm having a hard time writing." I'm like, "Dude, like."
There was so much like immaturity too. Like there were some people that were like sore losers, and like
Oh, yeah.
that last person
Oh,
that
for sure.
lost.
That girl, yeah, she
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
"Yo, if
she
these
was-
other two win, then
Judges
you know
cheated.
that they cheated."
I know, and I'm like, nobody cheated.
No,
Yeah,
Like what?
and like they were showing mad love too. Like
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
was.
so
yeah.
like she was fake throughout the whole thing,
hmm
and then she'd like drop that. And,
that redhead with that red hair girl too at the end, like she got all butthurt about it. I'm like, dude, be happy that you made it that far.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand getting emotional and upset
Yeah.
when you're that close.
right.
But
You know,
like,
but-
when you're top 4, like when you're stacked against like the other 3, like you got to go with the one that stands out the absolute
Exactly.
most. And like those two bombed their performance
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Plus-
they got too hype and whatever else.
Yeah, and if you make it that far, right? Like you're just saying, like just because you didn't win the show, you still could have tons of opportunities.
Your name is
So
already
depending on
Absolutely.
how you carry yourself and hold your composure, like you know, you get in other deals. I don't know. My biggest problem, I guess, with that show was like a lot of the live performances. I felt like the audio wasn't that great, or the mic control wasn't that great. There was a lot of like yelling into the mic going
Yeah.
on, you know, not to like diss anybody, but I was like,
It
man,
just
these are
wasn't
the
like
best,
polished enough. No.
the best of the best. Like, I'm like, I have friends in this room that are better with mics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Performing live. Like, honestly, like I just was very surprised by some of that stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, like you're yelling a lot higher than you need to, and
Yeah,
what the
and then-
song is supposed to convey.
yeah,
if you will.
and breath control, missing words, missing parts. There was like a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Where I felt like it was excessive. Because I know sometimes you want to like let the backing track go and maybe do like, you know, a move or kind of like get in with the crowd more. But it seemed like it was more like, I can't get through my verses. I'm going to skip that.
Yeah.
Was happening sometimes. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And I'm like,
noticed that too.
again, like there's so much talent out there that I was just surprised in some ways that,
Yeah.
you know.
And again, then you have like Jay Taj, who I mean, he had a solid, like, I don't want to say monotone, but he definitely had, like we were talking
Yeah,
off
he
air,
had
like
that-
definitely a deeper voice, but it like projected so well, and then stage present was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
You know, the battles was damn near perfect.
Yeah, delivery was great.
Everything. Like his presence even doing those things like was where they should be for those specific things.
He like understood every task, and like whatever like was put in front of him, he like elevated it, you know, in his own way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm here to learn. Like, I'm here to get better. I'm here to learn. Like, I'm not the greatest. Like, I mean, as much as they, you know, told him how polished he was like, yo, like, I'm just being humble.
Yeah, he was still humble, which was great.
You know?
I'm just, you know, doing what you told us to do, you know?
Yeah. Because what frustrated me, because I look at season 1 with D Smoke, which, I mean, definitely should have won, and phenomenal. I in my opinion, phenomenal artist. Definitely think, you know, obviously he should have been in the finals, and obviously, you know, can't agree more that he won. You know, Flawless RI, same thing. Like, you know, to be in the top, definitely should have been there. You know what I mean? And hey, representing New England, what's up?
Right.
And you know, so what I'm saying is, like, you have these, and to me, they were pretty polished artists. Like, I've seen Flawless perform. He was on tour with Joe Budden. You know, and then obviously D Smoke, and just like, and I wish they did the videos again too. I was mad that they didn't shoot the videos.
Yeah.
You know, again, I felt like they rushed through season 2. Like, they didn't.
So I guess I did watch both seasons then for sure.
Yeah. Like, they didn't take the time to get to know, you know, the you know, people in the semis and the finals, you know, your top 4 and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the background.
Yeah, like they did it like kind of at the beginning, but I mean, you do that with pretty much everybody anyways. But like they said, like they did in the first season, they took them home. You know, they shot a video, you know, within their hometown, you know, really showcase who they are, yada, yada, yada. And like this season, it just felt like they just whipped past through all that. And I think they focused their budget more on, which was cool, focused their budget more on the people that they brought out. Yeah. I mean, you had like Eminem, Royce the 5'9", you know, to Busta Rhymes was there, Big Sean. I'm trying to think who else was out there. You know, what's his name from D12 as well. Usually hypes for Eminem too. But he was there, you know what I mean? So I think they focused more on, maybe, you know, their budget wise, like maybe focused on who they were bringing out versus, I think, the actual experience that you were gaining from it. And again, I think it was cool to have those people, because it's like, yo, to be judged by Eminem is crazy.
Yeah, that was
crazy, insane. Even just to meet him, have that opportunity to meet him is crazy.
And like, what better artist like that? That's where he was bred. You know what I mean? So like, what better? Artist,
and they were in Detroit.
Yeah,
like,
and
they flew out to
that
Detroit.
Was wild. Yeah, that was pretty cool for sure.
Yeah, but you know, I think maybe having a little bit more of a balance with it. I think the celebrities that came out were cool, but I mean, they also did that in the first season, but that was more of like the judging piece.
Yeah.
Have him sitting on the couch and stuff.
Right. That was, you
know, I don't know. I guess you could flip it, you know, trying something new, see if it works type of deal. But yeah, it was a little underwhelming. And then again, to get back to my point, D-Smoke, like Flawless, you know, very top tier performers, and just how polished they were to win. And then to have somebody like Jay Taj, very polished, but then doesn't win. And you have Dre TL, who struggled throughout the entire season. Yeah. Up until the finale of like not even remembering his words, you know,
he couldn't
supposedly,
flow.
You know, he couldn't flow. You know, they were even saying like your timing is off, bro. Yeah, like you need to.
Well, that was some of my other, you know, issues mentioning earlier. Like that was definitely some of it too, is timing. Yeah. You know, it's just like I was not impressed by a lot of the performances when I'm looking at it as like these are supposed to be like the best. You know. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they were bad, but they weren't like impressing me the way I felt they should, you know.
Right.
Season 1, like there was like a lot more artists that like I'm just like, holy crap. Like
yeah, you were brought into it.
Yeah.
You know.
In the finale, I can't remember her name. I think she had like a yellow vest on. She killed it. I felt like her song was like so hype. It was super, super, super
was it
catchy.
The first season?
I think it was the second
no,
season.
second
She
season.
did a song for like Cali or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the hook was super catchy, and obviously I'm being hypocritical in the fact that I don't remember what the actual hook was.
I know, but yeah.
But when I heard it, I was like, yo, that's like super catchy. It was super hype. Like I thought she had
yeah.
a good performance and everything. And then they were like, yeah, you're not. And I was like, what?
Yeah, and then I felt like they didn't even like touch on that point. And then, like, I don't know, maybe it had a lot to do with the producer on that track. But to me, that song just had the right elements in all the ways that, like, I was like, oh, all right, you know, like, this is banging, this is cool. And then they were just like, yeah, that wasn't it. You're out of here. Like,
Yeah,
I was
she
surprised,
had a
like,
fire performance. She didn't even have to like engage the crowd to like get them to sing it.
yeah,
Like they just jumped right on it because it was that easy.
yeah,
You know, and then they were just like, no, not the one. Like I thought the Missy Elliott chick, like
Yeah.
that just like embodied Missy Elliott. I thought she was dope.
yep,
Like I don't think she should have got cut so early.
yeah,
Like within the top, you know what I mean? Like I felt like she should have been. I mean, I thought she should have been higher than Dre TL.
yeah,
Not J-Tosh.
yeah,
Dre TL, and they would cut her. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I thought the girl that was talking all that crap, like, oh, if these guys win, then they cheated. Like I thought she should have been gone
yeah,
a while ago.
Yeah, I wasn't really into that.
Because I didn't like her stage presence. Because when she would walk up, she would have her hands like this, and she would rap like this.
Yeah.
Almost every single
You're right.
time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like,
And like she would just act like she's a shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would shout. You know, I know sometimes that's like a coping mechanism of
Yeah.
like kind of protecting yourself when you're performing. I mean, I've done it sometimes, and I've broken out of it. But it's like, again, you're in a competition. Like, I don't get how they didn't pick up on these things, because she did it multiple times. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude, she's
multiple
doing
times.
it again.
And
Yeah.
like, sometimes she would like look down instead of like directly like at the audience.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not even like, it doesn't even look like you're trying to perform and like engage with the crowd and like really get them moving. It looks like you're just rapping your lyrics just to get through the song and then moving on with your day. Like
Yeah,
you're just
which-
showing up. And
that's not what you want at all.
no, and I was like, dude, and then
I was mad, man,
Yeah.
when J-Taj didn't win, dude. Like
they're like, Dre TL.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
no. I was like,
he gave a
what?
Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't perform at the Super Bowl, but I
Oh.
mean, like the way like it was produced
Yeah,
and
yeah,
structured
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, because like he
could have been at
changed
the
it
Super
I was
Bowl.
like, what?
He could have.
Yeah.
I watched that. I don't think so.
Right up. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Kendrick was
Is that who
there.
Kendrick brought out? Well,
Yeah, right.
I was trying to think of his
There
name
was
too.
a lot of hidden stuff in there. A lot of symbolisms. Maybe I missed them.
Yeah, right.
He just like pokes out.
Yeah, right. I know.
In a
I'm,
crip outfit, like
yeah. I actually didn't watch the Super Bowl halftime show.
No.
No. I was just like, I feel like was I doing something at that time? I don't know if I was like driving home or something. I don't think so. I think I just wasn't like hyped to watch it.
Yeah. I was with my cousin in the
I was.
hospital I'd mentioned to you earlier. And we watched the first half, the halftime show, and then he was like falling asleep. So I was like, I'm gonna head home. And then I like off and on watched the rest of it when I got home. I was only like 15 minutes from home, so I didn't miss a whole lot. But
Yeah.
I kind of knew which way it was going pretty early on. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now? Like, I just felt like they were just like stomping them right off the start, you know?
Yeah. They got
Offense on defense.
manhandled.
Yeah, like it was wild.
And I was there for it. I was all for it. I'll be honest, I did not want the Chiefs to win.
yeah,
Personally,
that's how I wanted it to go. I wanted them to blow them out. Like,
Yeah,
just, like,
it was bad,
solidify it.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't need the
Take it
three-peat,
to 'em.
so it was good. But also, I was just surprised, like, coming back for the third time, like, defend your title, you know, all this stuff.
They did not show up at all.
No.
It was rough. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, Pat Mahomes threw like 3 passes and like half of them. He threw like 4 passes and half of them were interceptions.
Yeah.
There was a few plays even in the first quarter that I was like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah,
I'm like, everyone just like stood still, like they weren't even like doing anything, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
I did get nervous after one of the first few plays from the Eagles because they threw it. He caught it, and then they called pass interference on the offense. And I was like, how you hear all that stuff about the Kansas City Chiefs and the refs, and I was like, oh, here we go,
Yeah.
it's starting.
Yeah.
And I was like, here, I could see where this game is gonna go, and then all of a sudden the Eagles were up like 20-0, and I was like, oh wait, no, this is not how the game is going.
Yeah,
This is
we're okay, we're
awesome.
okay. Yeah.
We're good.
Right.
I did miss the pick six. I did miss that. I forget what I was doing, but I missed the pick six. I was upset about that.
That one was.
That was cool too.
Yeah.
And he was a rookie.
Yeah.
I saw, because my timeline's now popped up with all the different stuff, and it was like, oh, like they showed like his offer video, like he gets the phone call, he's like, oh, like, he's got his family and like his whole like squad and all the people that support him and stuff, probably from college and just family and home and stuff, and he's sitting there, he's on the phone, he's like, yeah, all right, thank you, sir, I appreciate it. And then he hangs up and he's like, yep, going to Philly. And I was like, yo, what a wild story. Be like, yo, you get that call to go to Philly, and then and it was his birthday too?
It was his birthday.
It was his birthday too. So you get a pick six in the
Wow.
Super Bowl,
Wow.
score a
Rookie on your
touchdown as a
birthday.
rookie.
Yeah.
Like, what
That's
a
wild.
story. I'll be like, yo, I'm done.
Right.
Call it a day. I'm done. I'm cool. Thanks for the career. Thanks for the ring. I'll catch y'all
Yeah, that's
next
wild.
time. What's
up?
Nah, that was cool. I was like, that's actually a pretty cool moment.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Yeah, but I did bypass the halftime performance. But I mean, I don't know. What did you guys said you watched it?
I watched it. Yeah.
What did you guys think? Because like all I've seen, and again, I don't know if it's just like my algorithm, is just like trash.
Trash. Yeah.
You know what? Like, people always have something to say about like a Super Bowl performance. Like any other performance, they're like, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like a Super Bowl performance, like they're just like, oh, that was trash. Like right away, they don't even, you know what I mean? But I thought Kendrick did what he had to do. He did his thing, you know what I mean? I watched the interview, like the Apple Music interview beforehand too. So like he went into like the, his vision for what he
you
was gonna
watched
be
it
doing
beforehand too?
Yeah.
That's
He was
cool.
just talking about like what he was constructing and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
he hit it right on the mark. So I guess if you didn't see that interview, like it wouldn't hit like the same, I guess. But
Makes sense.
I mean, I definitely missed a few things, and then I caught online from other people posting stuff. I was like, oh. And I went back and I watched it again, and I was very impressed by the symbolism that was involved in the
I
performance.
definitely like knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and I really respected that. A lot of people were like greatest performance of all time for Super Bowl performance. I wouldn't say that.
know,
just
I don't
as
know
far
about
as
all time.
like that's a lot of
But
to,
like I would put it up there though.
like musical ability, talent, performance. Like how did the whole entire thing go? Like that's a big thing. But I think the performance was one of the greatest of all time because he kind of broke a lot of like. I don't know even the right word, but like he did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things that were hidden within the performance that was kind of like standing up for a lot of people. and
Yeah,
for
he had a
culture
message
and
with.
for-
That's what I
like,
heard. He had a
so
like
I
a
really
message with
appreciated
it.
that. And once
Yeah.
I started picking up on that, I was like, oh, wait, what? And there was just certain things with the way like all the dancers were doing things. They like kind of represented the American flag. And then he was standing on it at one point and like kind of like demanding respect. And I mean, I definitely read about it a bit after. I'd like to check out that interview.
Yeah.
But they talked about a lot of the symbolism. And one of the things I missed at the end was like the game over with the PlayStation controller. That was kind of interesting too. Which I don't know if that was really just for like the Drake beef they had, if he was saying like, that's it, like I win, game over.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's all that was meaning, but also like
well, Drake is.
there was so much going on with the
He signed with
behind-
Sony too. I think Drake
Oh,
is
yeah?
signed with Sony.
Okay.
So I think that
So
it was kind
that
of
was-
double entendre of, game over, and then also like Sony because
Yep.
Sony PlayStation because it was a PlayStation controller.
Okay. Yeah, it was. That makes a lot of sense. See, that was the missing little
That's
piece.
what I heard about
Yeah.
it.
I didn't look much into that. That was like one of the latest things, I guess, that I caught like near the end of like, oh, I didn't really get the symbolism totally to that, but
For somebody like as laid back as Kendrick is, and someone who doesn't get in the public eye a whole lot, like he did back in the day.
yeah.
Like that's a big flex. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
To win like a Grammy beforehand and then
Yeah.
step on that stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
and just calling someone out like that too, like someone else
on
that's
such a public stage,
prolific
too.
and
yeah.
on live TV and like there's no
You got Serena. Was it Serena Williams?
Yeah,
That was there
his
too.
Ex dancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Samuel L. Jackson, like I loved him. Just like,
yeah. That's what I mean. There was so much
Yo, do
symbolism.
wait, this isn't what they want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I really, really respected that a lot because of like how much meaning was involved.
Yeah, he put thought into it.
Yeah, and then like watching it back, there was a couple things that I didn't catch that he said or like reference to, and I was like, oh, all right, like there was even more that I didn't, gather right away.
I do wish he would have came out with Control. That would have really set it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think he did a lot, which is.
But like I think there's like certain songs like he couldn't like. There's certain songs you can't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's on TV, so
Right. You got
That one might be
you'd
too
censoring every
graphic,
other
yeah.
word.
Yeah, because that wouldn't be really worth it for sure.
Yeah,
and
you'd
like
be
that's a song where he was like calling out like every heavy rapper in the
Oh,
game, pretty
yeah, I
much. So
remember. Yeah.
he can't do it to him like that. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you got to hit him with the hits.
Yeah.
And still be like kind of family oriented.
Like
'Cause
fan
Yeah,
favorites and
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
That like double entendre though on A minor. I mean, that was like
That's what everybody was
I
waiting
pretty
for.
much
I
fell
think.
out of my chair at that point.
Everyone was waiting for it.
I know, and I knew too, but I was like, nah. And I was like, he did. Like,
He did do it, like
I
because
think-
everybody was wondering if he was actually gonna do it.
I
Yeah.
know.
And he was like, then everybody was like, he did it.
Yeah.
I think
Honestly,
everybody in
when
the
he-
crowd was that's what they were waiting for. Like that's
Yeah.
what they
That's
tuned
all
in for.
they
That's-
want- that's
they
all
just
they
wanted to
wanted.
hear A minor.
As soon as he did that smile in the beginning, I was like, something's gonna happen. Like I knew because he was just like, I'm in control now. Like you
Yeah.
can tell, like you know,
It's my turn. It's my show.
yeah, like you're gonna, it's live.
You
can't
got
stop
girls
me,
like
That's true.
those girls that were the background singers. Like,
Yeah.
right?
don't do it.
Yeah,
Should I do it to him?
Yeah, don't do it.
yeah. And even like the jacket he had on, I couldn't see what it wrote on the front, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like very, very meaningful to him. It was something from like the past. I'm so bad with like,
That's something that said on
it was
his
on the
jacket.
front of his jacket, but it was open the whole time, so like I couldn't catch it. But that was something I read too, that it was kind of like a previous version of himself, I believe, was the idea, and it was a jacket that was like an old era, so it was kind of like also symbolism behind that of
Yeah.
like maybe bringing part of that back, but like stepping into something new. You
Yeah.
know?
He's the kind of artist that will blow you away with like just like hidden stuff. You know
Yeah,
what
and I
mean?
love that
It's like
stuff,
if you
man.
know, you know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I love that stuff.
And like if you don't pick up on it, like you don't really know me. So you
Yeah.
know, either dive in now or
yeah,
whatever. You know, kick rocks.
yeah.
He had from what
Maybe
I
toward me or
saw,
toward
he had like a small necklace. He had a chain on too that had a small A on it. So then they were saying like it's like A minor, like another shot at the A minor thing.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
it's just a small A. And I was like, he's just finding every little pocket that he possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's part
But that's
of the
the
game, I guess,
creativity,
at that
yeah.
level, right? If you're gonna go public with stuff, then
Yeah.
He produced the whole thing too, like him and his like his new agency. I don't know if you knew, like, I think it's called like PG something.
Yeah.
PG Lane, actually.
okay.
Yeah.
It's his new agency.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wait a minute. Jeez.
So like that could be the start of something too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like the Kendrick,
Like
you won
on the
Like, you
production
won.
side.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
Like it's over.
yeah,
Like I don't want to hear about like who won anymore.
No.
Like Kendrick, you got that. Like
Yeah.
and then honestly, like anybody that's involved with that whole other giant mess, I can't support them at all. You know what I mean? Like, if you're tapped in with all those people that were involved with all that, just I don't even want to, go any further there. But I'm just like, nah, like,
Yeah.
I'm all done. Like,
right. I'm
if
cool.
your name popped up somehow involved with whoever, and you're like with all these people that are involved, I'm like,
Right.
you're
who's
clearly-
already like underneath the prison at this point.
Yeah, and it sucks because maybe some of those people are just like involved by, like, I don't even know that there's like a term for that.
Like the
but,
guilty by association.
Yeah,
type of
exactly.
thing.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Guilty by
innocent
association, but
bystander
also
type of
it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all those people at that level, it's like, well, I don't know though. Like, wouldn't you know better? Wouldn't you be like, I don't want to be involved? I don't know.
Yeah. Or you're just trying to be blissfully unaware. Like,
Yeah, and
oh, I
then-
didn't know. Like, I didn't know.
You know how much manipulation is involved too. Like, you know, that's another big part of all that. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. Everyone that's gotten called out, I'm just like canceled. Like,
Yeah.
at least
it's
for now,
tough to-
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm
it's
just like,
tough
nope,
to-
I'm not gonna stream your music or listen to your stuff or like support you like in any way because I just think that's like the lowest of the low. that you
Right.
could
Yeah.
possibly go in life. So I'm just like, nah. Like,
Right. You can't support somebody that, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. No, I get that totally. But yeah.
crazy.
That
man.
is like probably like one of the longest feuds in hip hop too, like between Kendrick and Drake. It
Yeah.
goes back longer too, like since the Control verse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like they were cool, like you know what I'm saying, like during like at the beginning of Kendrick's career, like he went,
Yeah.
Mutually
Drake brought him on tour and
respectful.
stuff like that. You know, they were in show in love with each other. They were doing songs with each other. But then like Kendrick came out with that, and
Yeah. And that
yeah,
was
that's
it.
when they
Because Kendrick
started
was
to-
probably just sick of seeing stuff, like
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
what was happening in this. I don't want to say like necessarily seeing stuff, but just seeing what is happening in the music industry.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
just
sure
in-
there was a part of him that like, you know, probably just like saw that like Drake could have. I don't know. He probably just I don't know.
He probably wanted to see Drake break out of that.
Yeah.
You know, as a peer of his, as like you said, like going on tour, like you become
Yeah.
that like that peer, like, and you're just like, dude, like I don't want you to get caught up in that stuff. And again, this is hearsay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't want you to get caught up in that, but like you're choosing not to listen to what I'm saying. So like at this point, like you're the ops, you're the enemy.
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna call you guys out on everything that is happening. And
Yeah.
he's like, and Kendrick is not the type of person that's not afraid to stand on that ledge.
Right, and like he is probably like out of the two the most authentic because
Right.
I'm sure he felt like in a way Drake like sold himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense for
In-
sure.
Instead of just like I mean he is real. He is staying true to like where he is now, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably didn't feel like as genuine.
Right. Yeah.
But
The
like,
only other.
they're also two different artists too. You know?
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Two different lanes.
Yeah. Like the only other person that I could see maybe even going that far would be J. Cole. But like even in that breath, I mean, he did a song and then took it back. You know, with the diss that he did, he was like, man, like I really, he kind of reflected on it for him personally. And was just like, nah, I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
And took it back and stuff like that. But he's also never been one of those to be afraid on speaking out on certain things in
Right.
music. But for him, it could just be like there is a image that I am trying to keep and hold on to, and that's totally fine.
And of course, he doesn't want to get into anything that could potentially like be a detriment to his career.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
when you
Right.
get sucked in, like now, like you're kind of just,
Yeah, he's
like
not
in
that
that
type
mix,
of
and like
person.
that like if you throw out a diss song and like someone just like latches onto that for the first time, they're gonna only like you for that.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, or just like you said, like he's not the type of person that wants to do anything that is gonna ruin his career. You start getting into battles, especially being who J. Cole is. Like
Yeah.
you have kind of a big target on your back, and maybe that isn't what he wants to be remembered for either.
Yeah.
Like when you look back at like Drake's career, Kendrick's career, now Eminem's career,
Yeah.
like you part of their careers that you look back on, you're like, oh yeah, they dissed this person, and then they had this beef with this person, and then they have these
Right.
diss tracks that are public out now, and it's like
and it
that's
gets to
part
a
of
point
their
where
career.
like it's for some artists, like it gets to a point where like once that person fades, like that's all you remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Cole was probably just like, nah, I just want to be remembered for just the classic, authentic, real music
Yeah,
that
not
I
for-
make and have been making since I started,
And like you don't want to get into
and I respect it.
You don't want
No, yeah.
to like get into any like lawsuits, based off of like what you said or whatever. Or
Right.
you don't want to mess with like copyrights and shit like
yeah.
that.
Right, and I respect Kendrick for stepping out on that ledge. I mean, again, do what you
Yeah.
deem necessary. I mean, you have the platform, and you just deal with the consequences. This is
Right.
really what it is. But I respect it for not being afraid to do it. Like saying something and then not doing it versus being like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And probably one of the biggest performances that you could possibly have
Oh,
as an artist.
hands
It's
down.
probably the biggest performance you can have as an artist.
I
Yeah.
think
I don't know if
pretty
there's
much.
any
I mean,
other platform that you could have?
No.
Like, there's no award show.
I don't think so. That's probably the biggest live watched at the same time, like, event.
Yeah. Because usually what happens, too, for the artist is usually their catalog goes up.
Yeah.
With, you know, the week prior and then usually, like, the week after.
Yeah,
like, their
for sure.
catalog just, like, skyrockets
Yeah.
with streams and stuff. Because everybody's like, oh, let me check it out now.
I mean, I can't tell you how many, you know, every time I go on social media, it was something about Kendrick's performance.
Yeah.
You know, a meme or a video or someone talking about it or someone talking about the meme in the video.
People
like,
doing reactions.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was everywhere. So that's another way to look at it, too. It's like, well, that dude's buzzing the internet, like, at the top tier, still probably right now.
Still trending for...
Yeah, so is that part of the, you know, kind of idea behind it, too, a little bit, is like, I'm going to get buzzing like crazy if I just, like, say what I want to say and don't care about, you know.
And they're going to be talking about it for years to come.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because again, it's one of the biggest platforms. Because then, like, you're gonna get into next year, and then they're gonna be like, "Yeah, remember last year when Kendrick came out and did
right?"
You know,
it'll be
you know, it's still gonna be talked about. And two, like, you know, I've heard a lot of people. It was like a lot of people, maybe not necessarily. I mean, Philly did, but they went and tore down their city. But not a lot of people cared that Philly won, but that the Chiefs lost.
Yeah.
So what I'm
Yeah.
So what I'm saying too is, like, Kendrick is higher trending than the actual Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
That's pretty wild.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, for him, that's like a even step higher of just, you know, helping yourself out, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like,
I would take it there too. You know, if I had an opportunity like that, like if I, you know what I mean? Like if I had like the same like trajectory as him, like, okay, someone, you know, brought me on and now I had this opportunity. I'm gonna capitalize on it and be like, yo, see you later.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
see
the
you
Super
up
Bowl,
there. You
you
know what
have
I mean?
to capitalize. Yeah, Super Bowl definitely has to capitalize on that for sure.
And I felt like too in the time of the performance, like, he did a good job with, like, blending the different songs, mashing up. Definitely was like some heavy duty vibe changes throughout, you know, which was really cool.
But my timeline was either Kendrick or, like, just the different plays, or like more, not even like the different plays, but more just like trashing Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I was like all for it. It was just like, man. I felt bad too. I felt bad for some of the Chief players because, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, Mahomes, like, what? It was like a 80-yard touchdown pass where he just, like, chucked it up for the wind and the dude caught it. And I was like, that is so impressive, but also super, like they say, like, scoreboard. Like, dude, they were down by like 25 points.
Like 40 to 6, and then he
just long bombed it.
He's like, no, let's keep going. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, that's like such a dope play.
Yeah, it was.
But like, I watched the player like catch it and like score, and then like he literally just dropped the ball and walked off the field. Like, there was no, like, because like at that point they were just like, dude, we already lost.
Right.
Like,
There's
what was
no
the
point of scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, I did always look at it, and I guess I still do when I play like any competitive sport. I'd rather score something than nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
And maybe my dad's always joked about that too, because like anything we play my whole life, no matter what it was, if like he got to 7 and I still had 0, he's like, I skunked you, I win. And I'm like, I don't think that's an actual rule in most games. No. Like, if we decide we're going to play ping pong to 11 and he gets to 7 and I'm at 0, he wins. So I'm like,
oh no.
Yeah, that's how we've just always done it. Like, that was his rule, my dad's rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he always says, no, that means you know, I skunked you. And I'm like, skunked me? I've never even, what is that?
Yeah, I've never heard of
so
that.
I think maybe that's where that comes from too. I'm like, it doesn't matter if I score 1 or 2, like, and I still get beat real bad. Like, at least I scored something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and play to the finish, you know.
Probably his like own
tactic
tactic of like getting you mad, so that way you'll get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and then my mom, I guess, never let me lose when I was young. So like any board game, any type of like game, she'd like make it so I won.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. Like, how would I know? You know what I mean? And she
Yeah.
thought she was doing such a great thing. And then by the time I was a little bit older, I would get like really upset when I lost at things. And like my friends around me and stuff would notice, like, you know, like 11, 12, 13, they're like,
Yeah.
dude, like, calm down. I'm like, no, I have to win. You know, like everything I do, I win. And then they're like, over to the, like a few more years, it kind of came out, you know, Mom's like, oh, well, yeah, like, I always let him win everything, you know, because I just wanted him to be happy and win. And I'm like, no, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to lose.
You got to learn how to
Yeah,
lose.
so now I
Absolutely.
still hate losing. Like, even if I'm not that great at something and someone near me is really good at it, I'm going to try to beat them.
Yeah.
Just because
same.
that's like my competitive mentality. And I will hurt myself on accident or whatever, like trying to be as good as someone that I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, maybe that's part of human nature too, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's like me and my buddy.
Like, you dunk on me, I'll dunk on you.
Yeah.
fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me and my buddy when we work out at the gym. Like he was doing a lot heavier stuff than I was
Yeah.
for a longer period. So like he's a little bit higher in the weights than I am. But like we'll, you know, like continue to push each other to like he's got me back up. Like I'm benching like 225 now, which
Nice.
is like for me it was like I was like, dude, I could barely do one. Now I'm like I can like at least like re-rack like 3 or 4. You know, and not to boast on myself, but to get to my point, it's like there'll be times like we'll be like on our last set and like he's like, yo, like what should I add? I'm like, yeah, you should add like 15 more pounds to that. He's like, oh, for real? Bet. He's like, because he's like that competitive.
Yeah.
Or like we were doing decline dumbbell press, and it was our last set, and I think we were doing like sets of 8 or whatever. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna shoot for like 10 or 12. And he was like, yo, for real? And I knew immediately when I said that, and I said it intentionally because
Yeah.
I knew it was our last set because I knew what he was gonna do. He was like, all right, bet. And he probably went and did probably like 15, 20.
Wow.
Like probably I didn't count.
Yeah, he just
but like
kept-
I know that
kept going.
I know that he was gonna do that, and I said it on purpose because I knew that was his mentality of like. And he tells me all the time. He's like, "Yo, you add 5 pounds." He's like, "I'm gonna add like 20 just so I can beat you."
Wow.
And I'm like, I mean,
good, though. That's
you can
healthy
do it,
for
so do
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, it's helped me because like he'll be like, "Nah, dude, like lift,"
Yeah.
you know.
That's
You know,
awesome.
So, but like having that, you know, kind of motivation and that mentality of like, nah, like I'm not losing.
Yeah.
That is the Mamba mentality. Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Even if I know I'm gonna lose, like I'm still gonna try to go as
Make an effort.
heavy as I physically can. Because if I don't, and it's like easy, and then I can just like re-rack it, I'm like,
Yeah.
did I really like
Yeah. My
equally beat you, even though it's like a lesser weight, but like I didn't try as hard. It's like,
makes
let me at
sense.
least try as hard as you would at your weight
yeah.
to, you know, to do it. So I'm like, all right, at least pushes me a little bit. So,
That's good. That's good.
but yeah, no, I felt bad for the. No, I didn't feel bad for the Chiefs, but it was just funny to watch because like they would just like score, like they would
was-
score, and I was just like, there's no emotion from the players at all at this point. Like you're still down 20, and I was just like, I was like, can this game just be over? Like, this is
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, it was just, and that's the thing too. I like a game when it's closer, you know, because it's like exciting.
That's what I thought it
When
was
they're
gonna
like,
be.
you know, really like neck and neck, or at least like close enough to like, oh, if they score, it could be really bad. Like maybe, you know, the whole game will change.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of the whole entire game was like, there's no way they're gonna win. Like they just not doing good on offense or defense, you know.
Yeah, I was waiting for Mahomes to, you know, be Mahomey and, you know, start throwing all these crazy passes, and Kelsey's running. I mean, I think I heard Kelsey's name like twice. Like
Yeah,
the
it was-
entire game on like receptions.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what? And I thought it was gonna be close because they were stopping what's his name, you know, from the run game. And I was just like, ooh, like this is gonna be one of those games because like usually he's, you know, getting yardage like crazy.
Yeah.
And then like it was like play after play, they were stopping him, and I was like, ooh, like what's gonna happen now? And then all of a sudden, like just like touchdown, interception, interception, touchdown, pick six.
Flag.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh man.
that is not what I expected. But yeah, I thought like Mahomes would have, you know, stepped in like he did.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 years ago. They were playing the Bengals. Who were they playing in the Super Bowl? The first time, the first time that they won in their three-peat, or at the beginning of their three-peat. I forget who they played. but they were struggling a little bit, and then like he just like came back and like took the game and like hurt his ankle and like still played on it and
just made it happen.
And I was like, where is it? Like, when's it happening?
Yeah, like, is he gonna go for it? Is he?
And then it was just nothing. It was just like dead silence. I was like, what was this all about?
Yeah, no, it's very weird. I don't know.
But it's over with. You know, now we gotta wait 6 months, 5 months for football again.
Yeah, something like that.
That's all right. We got the NBA season. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball I feel like has been more exciting lately. Or like, I mean, I really haven't been following
Difference
it.
of opinion.
But I should say like last year,
Yeah.
I was getting more excited about basketball after not being excited about it for like a long time.
Yeah. I've definitely been watching a lot more this year, which I'm like happy about.
Yeah.
I love being a part of basketball. Dude, did you see the Chicago Bulls and the Pistons game?
No.
The Chicago Bulls scored 29 points in the first half.
Really?
29
What?
points in the first half.
Oh my god.
That's bad.
I think Detroit had like 60.
Yeah, that's like I was gonna say that's like a quarter score.
Yeah.
Like not.
Yeah.
They blew them out. It was like 130 to like 90 by the end of the game.
That's
At least they
crazy.
came back that
God.
much.
I was like, yo, at least you got like close to 100. Damn.
Did the Pistons have like their whole bench on the floor?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Assume so. No, the frustrating thing that I'm seeing with the NBA, which it's on the coaches and it's on the teams. It's not really on the play. Well, it's on the players, but I was gonna say like the league is like the 3-point shooting is like insane.
OD.
Like the last game that I just watched, the Celtics, they were like 1 for 10 for 3 within like the first like 7 minutes of the game.
Whoa.
Like 1 for 10 from 3. And like I'm watching like Porzingis is chucking him up. Tatum's chucking him up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that your first play?
Yeah, what?
I'm like, why is
Why are you
Porzingis
driving?
why is Porzingis not in down low?
Yeah.
Like I think I asked you that question before. When's the last time that you heard a offensive 3-second violation? Don't worry, I'll wait. Or 5 seconds, whatever it is.
Probably like
Shaquille O'Neal era.
yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, seriously.
Like,
Pretty
when's the
much.
last time? Like, there's no big men anymore. And it's like frustrating because you're just like watching them chuck up threes
Yeah.
all game. But then who were they played no, it wasn't the Cavs. Who were they playing? It was like it might have been the Cavs where they were losing. Like they were getting killed. And then what did they do? They changed their game. They played down low. Tatum was driving, doing fadeaways. Porzingis was playing down low.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown was getting into the middle of the paint. And they came back and won.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to get back to that game.
Yeah, that
even if
type
you're the
of-
only ones that do it, because nobody else is doing it. Like I watched one of their plays. There was not one person that was like inside the 3-point line. They were all spread out on the outside. I'm like, who is there to rebound?
Yeah.
Like you're about to
No
chuck
one.
up this 3 and no one is around for even a rebound.
Your center's all the way like at the other side.
He's the one shooting the 3. Like, why
Yeah.
is your center
Yeah,
shooting
why?
a 3? That was unheard of. I never in my life, like if you look at like the stats from like an NBA 2K or like NBA Live from like 2013, like a 3-point percentage, the percentage for like a center was like 20%.
Yeah.
Like, they're not. Inside layups was like 98,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like easily. Now it's like opposite. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's weird.
And I that's like the only part of the game that I don't like. Like when I watch it, it's just like,
And like sometimes like there's some games where the starters don't even try.
yeah. And it's like there's no need for a 3 either.
Yeah.
Like there's times there's not even a need for a 3. Like why are
Right.
you shooting up a 3?
Yeah, pass the ball around, make a play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Dunk on somebody.
Yeah. Like I watch it too because like
Pick and roll.
I mean
action.
I love reading plays and I think in I don't know, maybe in the future or whatever. Like I've always wanted to be a coach.
Yep.
So like I analyze that stuff like crazy. And like I can see it, and it's like you throw up a 3, but then it's like, dude, you had the lane wide open, or somebody was literally wide open underneath, and you
Yeah.
decided to just chuck up a 3. Like if you just looked down low, like they're wide open, or you
Yeah.
had a lane. like take it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh, it's like the only thing that frustrates me. Like, I'm Celtics. I'm glad that you guys are winning and you guys are coming back, but like,
Maybe that's part of the reason why Toronto hasn't won in a while too, because they say Drake in the crowd. They're like, oh, right. Chuck up a three of them. Drake's watching.
it's just frustrating. I don't
That's
know.
funny.
I mean, I know the game is gonna change and stuff, but
Yeah.
and the competitive level, but like,
No, I mean, I haven't really been into it ever since like the Celtics really went through their major change, however many years ago now. I mean, it was a while back.
yeah, it was a while back because they won in '08, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Pierce, Rondo, Garnett, which loved,
yeah, I mean, that
loved
was like my favorite
loved that
era since I was like young, and Jordan and those
same.
people were still playing like when I was young. But yeah, it just I don't know. I haven't been able to get into it in the same way since then.
Mm-hmm.
I like to follow it, and I still enjoy it, and I love playing basketball. It's like
Yeah,
one of my
same.
favorite sports to play. But I don't know, just hasn't had that like I don't know like excitement to it for me, lately.
Yeah, I think the level of like it's weird because the level of competitiveness is definitely up because like players are more athletic, like they're jumping out the gym. I mean, All-Star weekend sucks, but
There's more teams that want to get a ring.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a
yeah.
little more balanced. Like I think there's less of like repetitive teams that are like consistently, like back in the day it was like Spurs, Lakers, Bulls,
Yeah.
like those like very specific teams that you're like, yep, I know what the playoffs are gonna look like.
Yeah, it was like the same franchises every single
Yeah. Whereas like now you're like, could be up to anybody. Like we could see the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs. Who knows?
They can win a
Like,
championship.
yeah, like it's crazy. Like but OKC Thunder, like never would have thought OKC Thunder would ever see a chance. But it's like now they have the best record in the East, and I'm like, crap.
That's
Like,
I think that's the best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
For an expansion team too. No, I think they moved.
The Thunder?
Yeah, I think they moved.
They moved, yeah. They
I
went
don't
from
think
a little while ago they went from Seattle to
Was it
to
Seattle?
OKC. They were the Sonics. And then
Oh,
they
they were
changed
the
their name.
original
They like
Sonics.
rebranded and everything.
They were the
They
original.
got like
okay.
a whole
They were the
all like
Sonics.
new owners and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking of what was the team they were in? Was it North Carolina, South Carolina? Charlotte.
The Hornets,
It wasn't the Hornets though. They changed it. It was a different name.
the Bobcats,
Bobcats.
that was also the Hornets organization, but then they switched
Yeah,
it back
yeah.
to the Hornets.
And then they switched it back to
Yeah.
Hornets. I'm like, you just
They're like,
kept
nah, this is stupid. Let's
Yeah.
go back.
Not feeling the Bobcats.
it. Yeah, they should bring
All
the Sonics
Bobcatted
back.
out.
Yeah,
Whenever
I actually went to
think
one
of
of
the
the
Hornets,
games.
man. That comes up. I think of Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, big
That was
facts.
like, that was wild.
Larry
He was-
Johnson,
Larry Johnson.
Yeah, Larry
Muggsy
Johnson.
Bogues
too.
and
Yeah.
Larry Johnson.
It was like such
Alonzo
a
Mourning.
insane dynamic, between like the like super huge, like human, and like very small, like
Yeah.
especially for basketball, like extremely small. You know.
Right. He was like the one guy that gave the short people hope.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it takes like an insane amount of athleticism to be able to compete. I don't think he ever dunked though. I don't think he ever did.
No.
No.
But he was just like that good. That you were
Yeah.
just like, yeah, no, cool.
quick. Real
Yeah,
quick.
very quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for a guard. But yeah, the game is definitely different now. Like, and I look
It's
too.
more business than anything.
Yeah, because like I look at the future too. It's like there's nobody that's really like standoutish anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Like once LeBron leaves, and even like now, like I'm like kind of over LeBron.
Yeah.
Like after LeBron leaves, like who is really the face of the NBA? Like
Right.
you had the LeBron era, which was that. Then you had Kobe, then you had Jordan.
Yeah.
Then you had
And I mean,
Bird and Magic and that whole crew. So it's like
Yeah.
you had faces, and it's like moving forward, there's nobody that really, I don't know, just like really stands out. Like you have your top players. Like again, looking at like the Celtics, you have Tatum, Jaylen Brown,
yeah.
whatever. And obviously all the other teams. But you don't have like those one or two people that you're just like,
Right. That are like
that you're just like, ooh, I need to watch out
Where it's like, yes,
for this
that's them.
player.
Right,
Yeah, like
yeah.
I need to
Like
watch
that's
out
Pippen
for this
and Jordan.
player.
That's
yeah.
Shaq and Kobe. That's like, Iverson.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a nightmare if we have to go up against them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't really have that. You just have like, maybe a difficult team, and everybody's like kind of on the same.
Yeah, there's not like a prolific
not
all-star
anymore.
standout above the rest. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, moving forward.
Maybe that's a little bit of it too, because I mean, obviously, like the Kobe era and the LeBron era, I was like real excited and a lot more into it during that time than like when something's not really popping off, or I don't know, because those people just tend to be a little more fun to watch play, So it's like, oh, I wanna see what's gonna happen, or
right.
what are they gonna come up with?
Or like, who are they gonna fight? Like, if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
if it's like a rivalry, like a heated rivalry.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes
they used to
that.
fight. I
yeah.
miss fighting too.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls used to go at it for
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I was there
remember,
for it.
Like Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman days, like they used to.
Yeah, they used
Yeah.
to go at it,
Yeah.
and then Ron Artest.
Yep.
That was
that's
another
right. Oh
crazy
yeah.
one, too.
Yeah.
Malice in
Indiana
the Palace was the
Malice in the
absolute best. Like,
Let's go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching the game like,
Yeah. You're just
oh my God, there he is!
like, what is happening?
Like, players are in the crowd over here, over there, over here. Like,
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah,
That's crazy.
That was the good old days of the NBA where you just let people play.
Yeah.
You could talk to the ref.
Yeah.
And players played their position.
exactly.
And I think if the NBA went back to that, I think it would just be a better.
Just like the no blood, no foul type thing.
Yeah. I mean, just
Now,
within reason.
now your shirt gets brushed and it's a freaking flagrant 2 or whatever. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I know.
that's
I know.
just-
All these like crazy like.
ridiculous.
Even hockey, like they like a fight starts and they just break it up now. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like if you like, yeah.
Dang, that's
man.
boring.
Like,
Usually it's like
some people
Yeah, they
like
always
get
let
hit
them
hard
fight.
and like that person goes to the penalty box.
yeah. Usually they let them at least fall to the floor first, and then they're like, all right.
Or throw a few, and then they'll be like, all right.
All right, blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we play NHL. I think it's like 18 or something at work, and the kids always like try to fight. And usually what happens, the guys will fight. One dude gets knocked down, and then the fight's over. Like one of them skates off to the penalty box. The other one struggles to get up to go to the penalty box, and then play resumes.
Right.
And that's how it used to be. Now it's like, oh, I don't know.
Don't touch our most prized franchise player.
Yeah.
But that's the refs. That's not even like, dudes want to fight.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Especially in hockey. I mean, I feel like that's always been a little bit of a part of hockey. Like, is
Yeah.
Part of tradition, pretty much. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it seems that way
Getting one
anyway.
fight
I
per
mean,
game.
Yeah. Like I just saw a thing on my TikTok. It was a video from 2000. I think it was 2008. And one of the Boston Bruins players at the time, like, put some dude through the glass, like on a cross, like a cross check. Like you should see the whole panel of glass shatter down all the way down. I was like, yo! I was like, that's the kind of hit I love to see, though. Like, that's super cool.
yeah, that's great.
I'll
That's
need to see
crazy.
the rest of the game at that point.
Yeah, I'm like, yo,
Right, yeah.
I'm
money's
good.
worth right here. Let's
Right.
go.
Especially if you're at the game, like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. I'll grab one more beer. I'll take a hot dog to the road for the road.
Yeah, facts. Nah, dude broke the whole panel, like from top to bottom, just shattered.
Wild.
It was
Wow.
insane. I was like, yo, that's a cross check. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand like player safety and stuff,
Yeah, I mean,
but again, it's like one of those things. That's just part of the game, and the guys understand it. I mean, they walked around with no teeth for years. Like,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, when the hockey first started, they didn't even have helmets, really. Proper helmets at least. I mean, even
Yeah.
now they just have like the extensive that they go is what, like here, like the shield that covers your eyes, like still gonna get knocked in the jaw and your teeth are gonna get popped out unless you go the route of like the full face mask
Right,
type of
right.
thing. But
yeah, I would not want to get hit with a puck.
Oh,
nah,
no.
the
face,
thing is like
especially.
120 miles an hour. Nah, I'm all
Yeah.
set,
Ouch.
bro.
That's worse than getting hit with a baseball.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm all
I've
set.
gotten hit in the shins before just playing like pond hockey, like does not feel good. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to get hit in the head or face or mouth. Like,
Yeah.
No, I got hit in the back of the head with an aluminum bat, and that was enough. My buddy we were last day. I still remember. It was last day of 7th grade. We were just out playing baseball like we always do. We were just in the yard at school, just after school program, whatever. And the dude struck out and lost. And what we always used to just get mad and just turn and chuck the bat because there was like a fence right behind us. So like we would turn and just throw it and hit the fence or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be like off to the side, and homeboy turns and just, and then thankfully, I was turned around, so like it hit the back of my head.
yeah.
I think I still have the scar, but like all I felt was just like instant, just like, duh, like what is happening? God. Like just metal bat to my head. And I was just like, oh,
that's rugged.
Yeah, I had like travel tryouts for soccer that day too. Like I just showed up. I didn't try out or anything, and like I knew the coach anyways. Like I'd already been on the team before. He was like, "Dude, like you're fine. Like just get better. Show up for practice in 2 weeks or whatever, whenever we start, and you'll be good." I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "At least I'm here." Like I showed up. He's like, "Nah, you're fine. You'll make the team." I'm like, "All right, cool. Appreciate it."
That's crazy, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I think just letting players play a little bit. Get back into that fundamental.
Yeah.
Because they just call anything, and then you get a tech for anything. Like, yo, I just passed you the ball.
And like every year, they just add in something that's like extremely unnecessary. Like the game is restricted as it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't need to keep trying to refine it. It was already good to go like forever.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided.
Leave it as is.
Yeah, if it ain't broke,
it's gonna get to a point where like if you say something like one word to us, it's a $50,000 fine or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of already at that. I mean, I think you get technicals, you get fined.
Yeah.
Tatum like clapped, and they were like, I'm like,
yeah, that's
one. I think. Oh no, it was Tim Duncan. He was like laughing on the bench, and they teed him up. I was like, dude, he's on the bench. He's not even on the court.
wow.
One player was like talking, and then like another one was like another player was talking to his teammate. He was like yelling at his teammate, and they teed him up. He was like, dude, I was talking to my teammate. I wasn't even talking to you. Do you see the one where they reversed the technical?
No.
I forget. I think it was Embiid. I think it might have been Embiid or it was somebody else. I don't think it was Embiid. It was somebody else. But they teed him up for something. Oh, because what's the dude's name from France? Dude, the giant from France. Wemby.
Yeah.
Like the first play, like you could tell it was a tussle, and so they called the foul, not on Wemby, but again, I forget the player's name. I think it was on the Sixers. It was either it was the Sixers. So they call the foul, whatever. So then they get in a tussle again, and then like as Wemby moves, he like trips over his feet, but they like just saw it because they had already gotten into that altercation.
Yeah, so
they literally like they were like, oh, I think they called it like a flagrant 2 or something or whatever, and like teed him up, and like that was like it was the second one, so like he was out of there.
Damn.
So then he was like, dude, like what? Like I didn't even touch him. They're like, yo, review the call, like check it. Like, dude was like in the locker room, like already like gone
off, yeah,
like off, like gone. whatever. So then they end up reviewing it, and like they looked at it and they were like, oh no, like homeboy really did just like trip over his own feet. So like they call it, they're like, yo, can they do that? Can they like take back a technical?
Yeah.
And I guess they did, and like homeboy literally ran back out, like threw his jersey on, like you could see him like putting his jersey on.
Wow.
Like he was getting undressed.
Yeah.
You know, so like he threw his jersey back on and just hopped back on the court. I was just like, but that's what I'm saying. Like they just like they're not. I don't know. Refs are not reffing.
That's probably the reason
a huge
why
call to make
the
too.
replay is like implemented in the game. That's probably why. Like they feel like they don't need to pay attention enough because like they can see it back anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really mad at the replay that they've added.
Yeah,
I think it helps. You know, for certain situations of.
But like,
you know,
there's some coaches that milk it, and like every single time something gets called on the team.
Yeah, they want to review it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Like,
but I mean, it's on you too. I mean, if you get it wrong, like you lose a timeout, and I think you're charged at. I don't think you're charged at technical, but like I think you shoot free throws.
Oh, okay.
I think like if you lose the challenge, I'm pretty sure the other team gets free throws, like at least one or two.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it's at your own risk.
Yeah. So if you really feel that, I don't know.
But I don't know. I kind of miss the old game a little bit. I just want them to stop shooting so many dang threes.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Like if you're 1 for 10 within 7 minutes, like I would change your course of strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like if you're wide open, like by all means.
Oh,
check it out.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
don't
or
make
if
that
you're-
like 100% of your game.
Like Pierce or I don't know, someone that's really good at shooting threes, then that makes sense. But if you're not good at shooting threes, and it's like
Why would you chuck it up?
early on in the game or early on in the quarter, or you have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're not fighting the shot clock or anything. It's like, what are you doing?
Or,
Yeah, there'll be like 15 seconds on the shot clock, and like homeboy literally just dribble,
like half court.
three. I'm like, you still have 15 seconds. Like, figure out a play.
Especially if you're not making shots. Like 1 for 10.
Sometimes it throws off the announcers too.
If I was on that team, even not coaching, and it's 1 for 10 that quick, I'd be like, hey, settle down. No more threes. Let's run some plays. Let's pass the ball. Let's move the ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let's try
take
to
you
get
out.
a couple, twos.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Like, I'm gonna take you out the game. Like that would be my mentality. Like, yo, throw up another three. I'm taking you out.
Right, yeah.
Instead of using
I see
the
you
G
shoot
League.
behind that line one more time.
Yeah, seriously. Like, stop. But
You're going back to college, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, the most I've probably done playing myself is like if I miss like 3 in a row, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to try again for like a while. Something's off, my
Yeah.
shot, my,
Mhm.
whatever. Just
Exactly.
like, I'm just going to keep throwing the ball up.
Yeah.
And I don't even play like for any meaning, you know what I mean? When I play or professional or any, it's like, why would you do that? I don't.
Yeah. That's always my mentality. Like you said, like if I miss like 3 or 4 and like it just doesn't feel right.
Just
Like
clean.
I just go into playmaker mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a just dribble, make a play, pass it off, and let somebody else
Yeah.
score.
I'm waiting until I'm up close enough that I feel like,
Yeah.
this is an easy shot or whatever.
Right.
But
Like that's how you find your like new role, you know what I mean? Like what you did like the last game, like you could have scored like 50, 60 points. It's not going to necessarily work in the next game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're up
Yeah.
against a different team, so you got to do something different.
Yeah, it's like all right, it looks like I'm gonna pad my
So
stats
get
a
in
little
the
bit
freaking
differently.
paint, NBA.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll be like, yo, I'll just start like rebounding and
Post up.
getting some assists and maybe just play down low because my 3-point shot is just not. And I'll be open too. Like I hate
Yeah.
shooting, like just launching, and I'll be open. I'm just like it just doesn't feel right. So it looks like it's playmaking mode
Yeah.
today.
Dude, I love how like I could be off outside, but then I start driving, and then like I get fouled. I'm like, oh, all right, bet I got you now.
Yeah.
Right.
I can still shoot free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for night hoops. My job does like tournament basketball in March
That's
every
super fun.
Friday, so I'm super excited.
Oh, that's cool.
It's one of my favorite times of the year. Just get to boss on these kids. Oh, I'm actually this Friday. I'm playing the middle school, the boys
yeah?
and girls team. So they every year they play against the staff. And they're actually letting me play this year.
That's
so
cool.
I'm so excited. I hope I get to
like
I hope I get to
dribbling
play
around
sometime.
people and like over their head.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like-
literally. I'm super excited. Like it's
That's
it's like
fun.
the eighth graders, 7th graders, and I think 6th graders are on the team.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Like an all-star game with like all levels. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. I
That'll
hope
be
I get
fun.
to play a lot. But I don't know. We'll see. But it's also I'm trying to use it as like a promotion tool for that night hoops thing.
Yeah.
Because we've been kind of low on the teen side of teens showing up in our program because we've changed kind of some of our policies. So it's been a little dry
Gotcha.
with the teens. Preteens are perfectly fine. We just had freaking 30 kids today. I'm like, yo, which is a lot for us. And when
Yeah.
they're all in one room,
That's a lot.
it becomes a lot. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, I need like the same amount in teens like we used to have. But I don't know. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, people will get off whatever it is that they're on and just do what they need to do.
Yeah.
I think they'll start running out of things to do and they'll come crawling back.
Right.
I
I'm
don't know.
surprised too, because like, I don't know. It's cold out. It's winter. Usually that's, something to do. Go. I don't know.
Well, we used to allow guests more easily,
Oh,
and now
okay.
it's a little bit more restricted. Kind of like a gym, like you get to try it out, but then like you either need to like get a membership
and
or
join or
So that's kind of where we're at. So now a lot of people are like,
gotcha.
you know,
Like you said,
this
give it a
is
little
cool.
time, and that'll probably.
Yeah, it's something new, so we're just trying to figure it out. But anyways, appreciate you taking the time coming down, man.
Yeah, of course,
I know
man.
you had a long day.
Yeah, it was
long drive.
wild today. Today was definitely a long day.
Yeah.
Different for me, but
Yeah,
happy to be here for sure.
yeah. Happy to have you as always. MOCG in the building.
You know it.
Looking at the wrong camera.
Yeah.
Want to say shout out to the team, MOCG. Want to say God bless to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for always watching, tuning in, listening. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to For His Glory clothing brand. Make sure you check them out. Get 15% off if you use the code J_faithofficial. Wear your faith in every single wear. But until next time, my name is J Faith.
We got L.Y.F E.
And we also got
Be Snair.
And this is the Right Mind Podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
Stop. ¿Qué pasó?
Hey.